Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Conquer with the Hosses. Kind of a rainy night last night. After we were pouring a driveway yesterday, I came over and I dug this driveway extension out. It was real nice, easy digging. I was just going to drop the machine off. So I said, take a practice scoop of dirt, see what I'm getting into. And it was all topsoil, so one led into 15, and before I knew it, I was all dug. And overnight it rained, so now it's all muddy. So we just cleaned that back a little bit. And those are our forms. We're 10 feet off the house, 15 feet back, 16 feet straight, just to a curve to meet the street walk, to meet the apron, to meet the street. We have this big sugar maple. What is that? Some kind of tree here. I don't think it's a maple, but the roots are everywhere. We ran that down spot to daylight, so stones due any minute. Still kind of cloudy, overcasty. So I'm going to try and get this poured today. We're not going to try. We're going to pour it today. So are we going to do it under a tent or no tent? Stay tuned. Okay, we are waiting on gravel to show up. So this has been a 10-minute conversation. What kind of tree is this? This is for a t-shirt. The first person to tell us what kind of tree, let me get it in on the white flowers, the leaves.
Maybe show them the bark.
And the bark. First person to give us the type of tree, and how about a little bit of history about the tree? Where did it originate from? First to reply, we'll send you out a t-shirt. I hope Stone gets here quick. We're using our limestone that really doesn't need tamp, especially here. We only put it down maybe 2 inches thick. Back there we were about 4 inches, 5 inches thick, so I did want to tamp that, as well as we were a little bit muddy underneath that from last night. So that's another reason I wanted to tamp it and just lock everything in and compact it real good. So as Tom's doing that, the guys are putting the wire in behind them. Wire, rebar, as well as fiber mesh into concrete. These moving all three. Concrete's doing a little bit. Okay, truck's mixing up. Buggies are cleaned out, ready to go. We threw our splash guards on, my homemade splash guards. They work real well. That way we don't splash up the siding. Keep it a little bit neater. So we'll get him mixed up and get underway. Buggies are gonna come up across our ramp, right up there. We'll pick the wire up as we go. If we put chairs under it, it'll just crush them. We tried putting chairs on the sides and then the wire would roll up and poke up through the concrete. So we just decided to pick the wire up as we go, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, pour's going good. Not a big pour, 7 yards, but it's pretty steep. We kept the concrete real tight for 2 reasons. I didn't want to splash everything up. We got the downspout just a little bit, but really not that much at all. We can easily wipe that off. 2, it's so steep, the concrete will hold here better. So we're pouring. Let him move this. I'd say we're pouring about a 3.5. Yeah. 3.5 inch slump, 3 inch slump. And a slump is how high the concrete will sag. If you stack it in a cone, how much it sags per inch. So that would sag about 3 inches, is what I'm talking about. So Jim's just finishing out right down here. Probably a wheelbarrow to go. And here's where we try and hit it right on the money. What do we do with any leftovers? You know, we got to put it on plastic and haul it out later. So take your time, hit it as close as you can at the end, and it'll save you a headache. How'd that feel, Steve? So we'll get finished up here, cleaned up. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, we just squirted our mess down, just working it down the street a little bit. It's mainly just a little bit of dirt and gravel. We're just taking it, there's a catch basin there. I mean, there's a cup of dirt and gravel. We don't want to put hardly anything in the storm drain other than water. So the truck is cleaned up, ready to go out. Guys are putting cuts in. That's how fast this concrete's setting up. So I'll get the camera set up and I'm gonna start putting cuts in up there. Meet them in the middle. Matt is putting in our last tool cut. So these pads are 10 feet by 7.5. This is 10 foot by 8 foot, 10 foot by 8, 10 foot by 8 with a curve. Trying to keep them a nice small size for crack control. Steve's gonna head right down that way, so Jim's gonna move over a little bit and give him an exit.
Jim, I have an idea. I'm just coming straight back. Hey, Dan.
So they're just coming right here. Danlo's gonna reach in here. There is no room for me. That's okay. We poured this concrete pretty tight with about 1% calcium in it. It's setting up real good. Still the threat of rain at about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So we just want to make sure we're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get our sprayer full of SRT ready to go. As soon as we're done brooming, I can get a coat of that on. Once that's dry, the rain, a light rain, won't hurt it. So you guys are moving along here pretty good. how they all keep their floats nice and flat. All right, we'll go to time lapse, talk in a little bit. Okay, concrete's finally ready to broom. When I say finally, it's been like a half an hour. Steve's making his way down the wall on knee boards as I broom it. That way we can do our finish edge against the house. Okay, so the concrete's still really wet. We pulled the forms off and we gently just fluffed the dirt and grass up against the concrete. That way we're not leaving it a total disaster for the homeowners. Now when this is dry, they can hit that with a shovel and a rake, seed, and they are good to go. Just taking care of some last little bit of mud and debris here. It's tough when it rains every other day here. But I think all in all, we didn't leave them with too much of a mess. There it is, all done. Okay, let's head on down. We got one more project. So we came back over to this house we're working on. We poured this driveway last week. Now we have to pour this front sidewalk. They had all this scaffolding in the way. We thought the bricklayers were coming back. They're tied up somewhere else, so we're gonna get this in before they get here. So just a curved sidewalk coming up here to the house. It's gonna radius in here and flare nice and big. Now this is all fill, so this builder likes to cut these lintels in, and I really like this. Now we're setting on all these concrete lintels going from the piers to the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this all in with limestone. It'll be a sill across the doorway, stepping down onto a porch, stepping down onto the sidewalk height, going out to the drive. Okay, mixer's here, all mixed up, ready to go. I couldn't talk a lot. There was a lot of discussion with different heights, the sill, the slope, the width, we covered it all. And you know what? I think it's kind of how we had it the first time. So here we are. Rebar's in. Let's get it poured and get this project done. Maybe I'll tell you about it someday. Steve's just spraying down the faces so the concrete doesn't stick to them. Sometimes we'll hit them with form release, sometimes we just hit them with water, sometimes we don't hit them with anything. Let that fill up a little bit. If you get too many people in there, it just gets too, everybody getting bumped with shovels. We're pouring this about a 4-inch slump. Maybe we ought to do a slump test one time. And there we go. A little bit more, Corey. I don't know if I've ever showed this before. So we don't always get the vibrator out on a small project like this. We just put our float on the concrete and press down and give it some light taps. Pressing down with the float helps push the concrete and push the air out. Down low. Looks like we have nice slope on there. Usually we go for 2%, but since we're a covered porch, front door, sometimes, in this case, we just went a light 2%, probably more like 1.5% cross slope on that. Okay, a little bit of cleanup, and we'll go ahead and finalize our walk. Okay, finalizing the walk. Setting this for height off of the concrete. Just getting the same plane, not necessarily the same plane, same elevation from driveway to walk. Put a clamp on it. So we just wanted to flare at the driveway. 4-foot wide sidewalk, 6 foot where it meets the driveway. And just curves right up in here. Looking good.
Always.
Piece of conduit for sprinkler system, lamppost wire, whatever they want. Arcing right up to the porch. Nice big inviting entranceway, as wide as the opening. So that's what we're looking for. Right, back this way now. And I just look at the forms, we tweak them in and out a little bit until we get that shape we're looking for. Okay, Steve's putting the cuts in. Corner of pillar to corner of pillar. And then wall, he's got a mark out there to corner of pillar. So right through here, matching it on that side. So notice how he wet stabbed that. Can you show me again? I know. That helps the concrete.
Reenactment.
He takes his float and he cuts it. That way we get that much separation, and it helps it crack here rather than possibly a 45 off of there. Make sure I had the camera in position. Rather than a 45 there, it'll help it crack in a straight line. 2 more cuts. When we can, we avoid a center cut going into a sill. This is a pretty small pad right here. So with a good wing cut, we're gonna not do a center cut to stay away from that sill. So mixer left about 20 minutes ago. Steve's on it on knee boards already. It's a pretty cool day out too. The concrete's setting up real nice. This is 4,000 limestone with fiber mesh. Okay, one more cut over there. That's what we're looking for. And we can put a light broom on that. I don't know so that's what we like to do on the base of the porches. If we edge underneath them, it leaves it real nice. If you don't, just leave it squared off. Hit or miss. Sometimes they come out nice and sharp. Sometimes they just get all jaggedy. What's our word? Chunkage.
I mean, we got a lot of those words. Oozle, chunkage.
Let's see how Matt's making out. All right, I'm the only one who didn't edge my side. I better go do that. Okay, so they yelled at me and made me come back and edge my side. Because Tommy, Steve, and Matt did all their sides. So that's how we want it. Ready to be broomed. Okay, a couple minutes, won't be long. All right, there it is, all done. We changed up the broom marks just to give it a little pizzazz. Traffic, we're going against the broom mark here. We changed it, still plenty of traction. Now it's more like a border. Those are opposite, perpendicular, parallel. Okay. 2 little projects off the schedule for today. Still could rain. So far it hasn't, so hang out here for a little bit and make sure this is safe. So I hope you enjoy these 2 little jobs. We'll just link them all in one video. Any questions? Give me a reply. Tell your friends. Let's keep this channel growing. See you again.